guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I was actually just about to sit down and film a video, but about 5 minutes into filming it, my camera died. And since I just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys and show you some of my current favorite products and answer some questions about my hair and about like nails and stuff like that, and just some things I've been loving, I figured why not make it a little bit of like a vloggy sort of style. So it's actually a pretty dreary looking day outside. I don't know if you can see the trees blowing. So I'm just in a cozy top and leggings and just relaxing with Bentley. He's over there on the couch. So yeah, I'm just gonna be sharing with you guys some of my current favorite products. I don't know if I've talked about this on YouTube. I feel like I've kind of mentioned it in passing, but I'm on a little bit of a no buy, but I hesitate to even give it a real name because I don't feel like I am on a strict like no buy or Project 10 pen or anything like that. I just think that over the years, I've just gotten more mindful about what I've purchased. And especially in the past year or so, I really started to look at everything I had. And I'm like, why do you have that much stuff, and why do you continue to buy more of the same stuff when, like, how many new lip liners do I need? You know what I mean? How many bronze eyeshadows do I need? So I'm trying to work my way through the collection, but with that said, if there are things that really stand out to me, I have no problem buying them, but I'm just a little bit more mindful of not buying like every pretty bronze eyeshadow I see, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and quit rambling because, as we all know, I can ramble on, and I'm gonna start off with my nails. Now, my nails are actually probably something I get the most questions about, and it's kind of like a little shameful thing about me. I'm actually a nail biter. I've been a nail biter since I was a kid. I don't even know why. It's probably an anxiety thing, but I guess when I was in my teenage years, I started getting a little bit more self-conscious about my nails. I never wanted to paint them because I felt like it would just accentuate the length or lack of length in my case for my nails. And I must have been around like 15, 16, and I went to the drugstore and I came across these full cover nails. Ever since then, I have been using these. If you have been watching me for a long time, I have a video from like years and years ago of how I apply these and paint them and everything. But basically, once they're glued on your nails, you can just treat them like your real nail. Like, you can paint them with a base coat, a top coat. That's what I like to do. I went through phases where I would get acrylic nails put on, but I hated going and sitting there and getting my nails done. And it was never exactly the way I wanted it. And it was just like, I didn't like the upkeep. I'm very much like that. Like, I even started kind of doing my own hair, which I'm gonna talk about in this video because I've been getting a lot of questions about that also. They stay on a really long time. Like, honestly, if you have your nails like prepped and clean, like nothing oily on them, and then you put the glue on, it's all about the amount of glue you use. So if you only want them on for a day or two or a night, you put like a very tiny amount of glue. If you want them to last, you have to like either coat your entire nail or coat a good part of that, and then press and hold really, really tight to get all the air and bubbles and everything out. And then your nails should stay on for a really long time. But if you're like me, popping them off sometimes becomes a little bit of a fun game. It's like picking, and it's really bad. So yeah, so I really like static nails too. To my knowledge, static nails is online only. This is just kind of like, I guess, like the more like Instagram version of press-on nails. But you can also just go to your local drugstores or Targets or Walmarts, and if you go into the nail section, they'll have a whole bunch of glue-on nails that you can buy, a bunch of different shapes, different colors, different finishes. If I'm just perusing Walmart and I see a nail color or a nail shape that I really, really like, I will often pick it up and just have it to keep. When you think about it, like an average manicure costs, I don't know how much, I forget. It's been so long since I got my acrylic nails done. I wanted to talk about two nail polishes that I've been loving this time of year. So this color used to be called Haute Couture Red. Now it's number 556. This is the perfect fall color. It's very reminiscent to Lincoln Park After Dark. I don't even know how you would describe it. Whenever I wear this color, I get compliments and questions on my nails. It is just like the perfect fall color. It's such a deep red, bloody, winey sort of color, and I absolutely love it. So I actually just got myself a fresh new bottle, and that's when I noticed the name change. And then the color that I have on my nails right now is by OPI, and I think it was from one of their collections a little bit ago, but it's called Yank My Doodle, and it is just sort of like a rusty, pumpkin-y, terracotta color. So that's what I have painted on my nails currently, but I hope that answers any questions that you guys have about the press-on nails. I would say you don't have much to lose if you don't like them, and once you get into the swing of it, it's actually really fast to get done. So it might be a little bit confusing, or you might be a little like, ooh, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but it's really hard to mess up. And I just love my press-on nails. The next thing I want to talk about is my hair. So I have been dyeing my hair or balayaging my hair for so long, and I don't know what changed in me, but lately I just kind of wanted to go back to basics. Like I haven't gotten lip fillers or done anything like procedure-wise in a really long time, not for any particular reason. I just don't feel the desire to really do it. It's just not something that I'm like, ooh, I need to go get this done. You know what I mean? And normally in the summer, I go lighter, but for whatever reason this summer, I just didn't really feel like it. I still like having like lighter pieces and some dimension in my hair, but I really like being more brunette right now. I don't know why. It's just something that I am drawn to. And ideally, I just want to kind of like grow out my hair and then do more like a soft balayage, not so blonde. I don't know, I just have been really feeling the brown hair. If you are in Montreal, if you're in Montreal, I often get questions about which colorist I see, and still to this day, the only colorist that I would go see is Christy. I'll leave her information down below. I just love going to her. It's such an easy experience, and she's very sweet and genuine. I do highlight my hair at home, and if you are interested in a more in-depth hair video where I can kind of, I guess, do a bunch of tutorials in one, let me know. But yeah, I kind of highlight my hair myself. Like if I find, more so in the areas like in the crown of my head in the back, if I find that it's really dark and it just kind of looks overgrown, I'll go in and like just kind of spruce it up a little bit. And my front pieces, I tend to, even though I recently cut my front pieces, as you can probably tell because I'm no hairdresser, I used to always get in trouble for doing that as a kid. I'm actually probably due for it soon, so if you guys are interested in a video, I follow Jesse James Decker's video, but I do it a little bit differently. So I do that probably once every 2-3 months whenever I just feel like my hair needs a little bit of sprucing up, which I think it does, like in this area, just to need for some brightness. Another thing that I absolutely love for color, whenever I feel like my hair is just looking a little blah or just needs a little bit of life added to it, I love to do a gloss. It's the Bumble and Bumble BB Color Gloss Luminous Hair Shine, and it's just a bottle and it looks like this, and when you open it up, it's actually just like a brown, like you can't really see, but it's just like a brown liquid. It says it's a luminous filter that instantly revives and enhances every hair color, leaving behind a dreamy gleam. They have a clear, so if you just want like a gloss, I think like it looks pretty good. This isn't clear, but I put it all over just to add a little bit of richness to my hair, and I figured the gloss wouldn't hurt. They have clear, warm blonde, brunette, universal red, and I got the one for warm blonde, and I'll insert like a before and after, but it just kind of refreshes the hair and takes away any sort of like unwanted tones or anything. I don't know. I just feel like when I need a little recharge for my hair and I don't want to go on full on dyeing it, I feel like this is a really great option. I do it about once a month. Granted, I have been trying to wash my hair less and less because when I was a teenager, I was 100% someone who was like, I need to wash my hair every day. If I don't, I feel gross and dirty. And as I've gotten older, I don't know where I got all this energy to be washing my hair every single day, because now I'm like, I don't want to wash my hair. Because of that, I kind of have a little bit of a hair routine that again, I can share with you guys in a video. On my first day hair, I always like to give myself a little bit of a blowout because I just find that my hair looks better. It doesn't get more tangled. Not to say that I don't end up in a lot of hats and buns and ponytails, because I do, but it makes me feel better in the moment, and it kind of feels like you're getting or pampering yourself. This next product, I'm going to give a little bit of a disclaimer because I know a lot of people have some strong feelings about this product, and this is the Revlon One Step Styler. I actually did a first impression video for this last year. I know a lot of you have tried it out, and I am also part of a few Facebook groups where this is a very polarizing product, but what I do have to say is this is a styling tool to me. This is not a blow dryer to me. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They'll come out of the shower with sopping wet hair. Then they're gonna be with their sopping wet hair over and over getting this dry. Maybe this is a little bit misleading, but in my personal opinion, I use it as a final step in my styling routine. So as an example, today I washed my hair after I did the gloss treatment, and I got out of the shower, put my hair in a little towel wrap, did my makeup, and then once my hair, I would say, was mostly dry, like my ends were pretty dry, it was just like the bulkier parts of my hair. So I'd say once my hair was about 85 I don't know, like I honestly don't know what I'm basing my my stats on, but about 80, I would say close to dry, okay? Like past towel dry, it's close to dry. Then I go in and I use this as my styling tool to get the flip, to get the volume, to get shine, all that sort of stuff. Before I even put that on my hair, I use a good heat protectant or a cream on my hair. I'm not sure if this is marketed as a heat protectant, but this is the Caviar 10-in-1 Complete Correction Leave-In Hair Perfector. I'll put like a few pumps in my hair, focusing on the bottoms and then eventually bringing it up to the top. Now, I've had this product for over a year and I have used it a bunch of different ways, but it wasn't until I discovered this hack and I was able to use this so much easier and get the look I want so much easier. So I'm not sure how I ended up figuring this out, and if you want an actual video tutorial, let me know. But I found out that if you just lean your head the way you're gonna be pulling the blow dryer. For whatever reason, this makes it so much easier on me. I don't know why leaning the head makes it easier. I have never been able to give myself a round brush blowout, but I can with this. So lean your head over as if like, when you just, lean your head over. And then I just find it so much easier to get to the root, get to where you wanna pull it up, gain control. I sound like a flight attendant.
Gain control.
Pull it down. Focus, do this at the end, whatever you want to do, call it a day. So much easier. So if you guys want a video on that, let me know. But I know I can already foresee, I'm bound to get comments being like, that thing fried my hair. And 100%, I think there is a little bit of a learning curve, but I think if you wait until your hair is mostly dry and you're not using this as a sopping wet, fresh out of the shower to dry blow dryer, I think you'll have a better experience, because I also did find that my hair was breaking a little bit more, but that was when I was using it as my first step blow dryer. I hope that answers some questions about hair, and if you, again, let me know, thumbs up this video if you want me to do a hair video. I cut my own hair, I dye my own hair, I do pretty much everything, and I kind of like it. It's fun for me. I feel like a little bit of like an artist. So now we're gonna move into makeup, because I have a few makeup favorites that I want to share with you guys. For whatever reason, I have kind of been doing a foundation test through all of my foundations, because when I was unpacking, I was like, I have so many foundations, I wonder how they would rank. So I have been kind of using a different foundation every day, even though it's hard because I found like two favorites. I've been trying to use a different foundation every day, and I've been making a lineup of all the foundations so I can kind of know which ones are my favorite, and then I want to see are the ones that I like are they similar, why do I like them? And what's actually interesting is the majority of my favorite foundations so far have actually been from the drugstore. One of them isn't though, and this is the Tarte Found Sealer. This is the multitasking foundation. I was not expecting to like this foundation as much as I do. I don't know if it's because the color match is literally perfect. My color is 27N. It is full coverage, but not mattifying, and it looks dewy, but it doesn't look greasy, and it also mixes really well with other foundations, which is really important to me. Another standout foundation for me has been this 24-Hour Fresh Wear Infallible by L'Oreal, and this is in the color 445. I mixed these two together today. The reason why I like these two foundations separately and together is because I find that my skin still looks like my skin. It doesn't look dry or crepey or anything like that. I just feel like it looks hydrated, and that's from Skincare Benefits too, but I've had some foundations that just look so powdery on my skin. So I've been loving these, and these are definitely two of my favorite foundations that I keep on using, even though I'm trying to get through a bunch of foundations to see which one I like most. Now we're gonna move into eyes, and I have actually two eye brushes that I wanna share with you. These are the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brushes. The first one I want to talk about is the JH43, and this is such a random brush for me to love, and I definitely don't use it the way that it was intended. So this is basically like a flat liner brush, so even if you don't want to get a Jaclyn Hill one, you can go probably to Michael's, to the art store, and get a brush that looks just like this. You just want it to be soft and not super stiff. You do want it to have some bend and some give. But I try and bring my eye up, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not a makeup artist, but I just try to make my eyelid look bigger. And so one day I was like, well, you know, I'm always trying with like a fluffy brush or some sort of blending brush. What if I try and like place it with a brush that's a little bit more precise, and then I'll blend it out. This is my new favorite way of applying eyeshadow. So basically I'll just load it up with a favorite color of mine. A lot of the times what I like to do is actually use my bronzer, because I really like the look of just not monochromatic, but I like using a lot of the same product like all over my face, if that makes sense. What I'll typically do with this is I'll start on the outside where I want it, but then I'll drag it and it looks like just a line. But then I'll go in with a blending brush and a little bit more of the same product or like a blending color and blend it and make it all like a little bit smoky. But being able to place this exactly where I want, especially on the inner corner where I want to make it appear wider, like here, this has been such a game changer. The other brush that I really love is the JH30, and I don't know about a dupe for this one. So this one is a fluffy blending brush. It looks a little bit tapered. What I like to do with this brush is I'll typically, once I put in my line, I'll go in with a smaller blending brush, and then this is like the final step. I just go all over. There's just something about this brush. It looks like it's gonna be so big, but the way that it's tapered, it just lays perfectly against your eye in the crease and blends everything so perfectly, and I have been loving these two brushes. The eyeshadow palette that I have been really drawn to recently is the Tartelette, I was gonna say toasted palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I had wanted this palette for so long. Every time I walked through Sephora or Ulta with Sierra, we would always look at it and swatch it. But again, I was like, oh, I can't buy another eyeshadow palette. But then when I was given the opportunity to work with Tarte, I got to choose some makeup, and first thing I added was this palette. So I absolutely love this palette. I've been using this basically non-stop since I got it. I love the creamy matte colors. They're great for crease work, blending, highlighting, and even this color Candle right here, I sometimes use it as my face highlighter because it's very universal. I always think about this. I'm like, what would I buy if I were going to, like, let's say I lost all my makeup, knock on wood, what would I buy first? And honestly, if I was going to just start fresh in terms of eyeshadow, I would probably get either the Tartelette Toasted palette or the Kylie Jenner Bronze palette. I just really love those two palettes, and truthfully, they're really the only two I need. Need is a strong word. Really, they're the only two palettes that I can see myself using over and over, and I don't feel like I need a ton of different palettes with a bunch of different fun pops of color, because I'm not popping any color majority of the time. Lips. I get so many questions about lips, and I honestly have been keeping it really repetitive. I have honestly been wearing the same combos over and over and over. I don't know if, like, I really wonder, did people collect makeup like this, like before YouTube? Like, I think about back to like when I was 13 and started all this. I wanted so many lipsticks and so many lip liners, and the more the better, and the bigger the organizer the better. Now I want like one like signature lip liner, or like signature this or signature that, you know? It's weird how things progress. But anyways, I do have a few standout favorites. These have been mentioned probably a bunch of times, but I did want to repeat them for any new viewers and also for any of my old viewers, because this is like probably my go-to. If I had to restart with 4 products for lips, this would probably be it. So the first one is the Huda lip liner in the color Flirt. Flirt is definitely more plummy, but it's still not, it's like a plummy brown, I would say. But I love pairing this with nude colors because it just like gives you the most sensual, plump look of your lips. This is a new favorite for me. This is by Tarte, and this is the color Baked. And it's a lip pencil, and I absolutely love this. It is so creamy, but what I like about this is I feel like when I put it on my lip, it sticks to where I put it. It doesn't budge, it doesn't move, but the color's amazing. If you're someone who just wants like a super natural color, it's here. So you can see the plummy tones. Then for my lipstick, this might surprise you, but my favorite lipstick is still Kylie Butterscotch. I have been using this since I got it. It is just my favorite color. It's like a peachy pinky nude. Honestly, kind of reminds me of MAC Hue lipstick, but not as like, there's just something about the tone of it that it's not so like nude, if that makes sense. And then my favorite gloss that I've been using for so long now is the Peach Perversion Gloss by Pat McGrath. I love using peach glosses. You guys know this because I just find that they flatter my skin tone more, and I find that when I put on pinks or anything sort of berry tone, it just makes it look really, really pink, and I kind of like a nude, peachy sort of look. Okay, so last things for beauty I just want to share are some body care favorites, because I actually do get questions pretty often about my body care favorites. And my no buy, or I should say my more conscious buy, definitely does apply to body care, because I went buck wild for a few months when I first started getting into body care. But this is a product that I've actually been using for a while, and it is the Kiehl's Creme de Corps. My sister Tony bought this for me for Christmas because she bought it for me for my birthday. She asked me what I wanted, and I'm really like, I don't have a lot of desires right now. It's very weird, like, to go from wanting so much to like being like, oh, like I'm good with what I have. Like, the one thing that I did want but always put off purchasing because I have so many body creams has been the Kiehl's Creme de Corps, because it is a pricier body lotion, but it is well worth the price. And honestly, I had a little travel size one for well over a year. I cut it open when I was almost at the end to use it and get everything out, and it is just cannot be beat. It is the most delicious, luxurious, glowiest body moisturizer there is, and especially with winter coming up, especially here in Montreal, it's already getting pretty chilly. Our bodies are going to be getting a little bit drier, at least mine does. Now that I'm getting older, I don't mind spending more on like moisturizing products, because I feel like moisturization is really the key to youth. So like that's why even like on my hands, I will apply like whatever skincare product I have on my face, I'll apply like a little bit extra so I can rub it all over my hands, so that my hands get all the skincare benefits too, because our hands, like, they show early signs of aging. And again, I'm not saying, oh, we should do this to stop aging. I'm just trying to, you know, age gracefully. I'd rather prevent now than treat later. Anyways, what I like about the Creme de Corps is that it does sink into your skin. It doesn't feel sticky, but it still leaves your skin with a glow. And I personally found that the Kylie Skin Moisturizer, while it smelled great and applied beautifully, I found that it sunk in so quick that my skin just never felt fully moisturized. The next two things I want to talk about are perfumes, because I am a big fan of perfumes. These two are my current favorites because I really like to layer them. So this is not a perfume I would necessarily recommend buying. I don't think it's worth the steep price tag that I paid, because I was trying to get free parking. If you're not familiar with Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, it's just a very summery, coconutty, suntanny, beachy scent. Probably the one that smells most similar in my opinion to this is the Clean Beach Day. I like having my base perfume be this, but then I also in the fall like adding this one by Juicy Couture. It's called Viva La Juicy Gold Couture. I'm not sure if they even sell it still. I wish I knew the notes of this. I should have looked it up, but I'm filming on my phone now. I want to say that it has, okay, I'll put the notes here, but it just balances out the scents really, really well, and I think the combination is beautiful. And I do like mixing scents, because I find that if you mix scents, then it becomes a little bit more personal, and I like that idea. Okay, so now I'm just gonna share a few random favorites with you, and then I swear I'm gonna let you go because I've been talking for so long. This is my favorite oatmeal right now. As some of you may know, I do live with anxiety and depression. I normally say suffer. I know a lot of people say suffer, but I don't know, like I'm living with it, I'm not suffering, so I just try and change my thought process about that. But yes, I do live with anxiety and depression, and as a result of that, some people eat more, some people eat less. I have trouble with my appetite, and my medication, one of the side effects is appetite loss, and so you know, sometimes I don't get hungry naturally until 4 or 5, and I know that that's not good, number one, for me and my body, because your body needs energy to go. If you don't have anxiety or depression, or if you literally don't know what it's like to have no appetite, it is like so hard sometimes to eat, and it really sucks. So I try and have things that are easy to make, so that even if I don't feel like making a whole big thing, I can still just make something quick, and most of the time I feel better after eating. And one of the easiest things for me to make in the morning is oatmeal. So I know that the Quaker oatmeal oat packs aren't good, but they're so easy. I grew up eating them. The peaches and cream. So we were grocery shopping one day at this like other grocery store, different from the one we normally go to, and I saw this on the shelf, and it was Oatbox, and I had seen so many Facebook ads for Oatbox. This is not sponsored by Oatbox, but I had seen so many ads for them before that I was like, oh, how cool is that? They have oatmeal like in stores now. And then I read the back, and the ingredients were pretty good. So there's quick oats, cane sugar, ground chia seeds, dried apple, ground cinnamon, that's it. You can make it in the microwave or the stove. The nutrition facts looked really good, and I believe it is organic. I also was just like excited to try a product that I had seen online and probably on Dragon's Den because I'm obsessed with Dragon's Den. All you have to do is combine 3/4 cup of water or milk and 1/3 cup of oatmeal in a bowl. 1/3 cup gives you a lot of oatmeal. They claim that there's 8 servings, but I definitely think you get more than 8 servings because if you use the full 1/3 cup, it's a pretty hefty serving for me, but I absolutely love it. They have a few different flavors. I'm almost done. I probably have one more breakfast and then I'm gonna go choose another flavor. But they have like a chocolate banana one. This one was apple cinnamon. I'm gonna look and see whatever other flavors they have, but I love this oatmeal. The texture is amazing. The taste is amazing. One thing I'll say is it's not very sweet, but again, oatmeal is not supposed to be sweet, and I kind of like that they didn't make it too sweet so that way we can customize our sweetness levels or preferences, you know what I mean? It's a different way of eating oatmeal because at least for me, I was so used to the boxes and the little packages, but when you think about it, this is such a smarter way to do it. There's less boxes, there's less paper, and the taste of this is delicious. So I just can't say enough good things. And then the last 2 things I want to talk about are tea, because I have been trying to get more into tea. I don't drink coffee every day, believe it or not. I'm not someone who's like, ooh, I need my morning cup. Sometimes I'll crave it, but I'm not a huge coffee drinker. But with that said, I did want to have a drink that would give me energy in the morning because sometimes I found myself like a little bit tired. And then I was like, well, people probably drink coffee so that it makes them awake. And I was like, I need to find an option. So we went to Ottawa one day and they had this store and it's Kuzmi tea. And I had seen someone post this on Instagram, I forget who, and it's their BB Detox, which stands for Beauty Benefits, I believe. And it's a grapefruit flavored blend of green tea, mate, and herbs. Same thing with, this is their boost tea, so green tea, mate, and spice flavored blend. So this is a little bit like chai-y and spicy. I really, really like these teas. I think the flavor of them is absolutely delicious. It's not like a laxative tea or anything like that. It's not like a fit tea. I think it has more to do with the fennel, the mint, the rooibos. There is some guayana seeds and dandelion, but overall, I really do enjoy this tea and they taste really, really good. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like I've been talking, oh my gosh, I have been talking for 41 minutes. I don't know how this iPhone has any battery left because my phone is normally always dead, but I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day or night depending on when you watch this. Be sure to let me know what your current favorites are down below and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.